Let's get you standing, feet and knees hip width apart. Now, I know that I can't see you clearly, so I do want to make sure your feet and knees are hip width apart, because in class sometimes I say to people, feet hip width apart, and they do this. So all of us, especially ladies in the house, we always think their hips are wider than they are. So think about your hip bones and think about getting the bony bits that stick out. Think about getting your feet underneath those bony bits that stick out for me. And then make sure your big toes are nicely in alignment for me. Okay? All right, so just soften the backs of the knees and then think about the pelvis. And I've got one new lady here today, so I'm just going to quickly go through this. Make sure your pelvis isn't falling forwards. Make sure your pelvis isn't underneath you. Make sure your pelvis is sitting squarely underneath your spine for me. Now gently draw the belly button in. Scoop up that lower tummy. You want to be engaged about 30–40%. Keep the ribs down and arms down by the side of your body. Let's bring your shoulders up towards your ears. Shrug them up. Round the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then draw those shoulders down into your back. Feel that length in your neck, and draw your chin slightly in. Ready to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again, breathing in and out. Last one, maintain that core in and out. And relax those arms. Good, well done. Bring your left arm up behind your head, take a breath in. Breathing out and stretching down, lifting that elbow to the ceiling, reaching that elbow up. And use your core as you come back to center. And again, stretching down, lift the elbow up. Now keep weight equal through your feet. And again, stretching down. What can happen is the opposite foot can go light and then come back up, and one more. Going all the way down and hold. Stretching down. Now think of your sternum here as your pivot point. Your hips staying neutral for me. And just know which way you go first. I want you to circle that elbow, but from your sternum. Okay, so we're moving from that pivot point of the sternum, drawing a little circle with the elbow. We're not just circling the elbow, we're circling the upper body. That's good. Good, and again, keep those feet nicely planted, keep the hips still. Now let's go the other way and circle from your sternum. One way will probably feel easier than the other. So moving from that central position, keeping the hips still. Lovely. Two more. Circle. And circle. Reach that elbow back up into the air and then come all the way back. Have a little roll of those shoulders. Lovely. We'll do the other side in just a second. Those of you with dodgy knees, this is fine, but just keep the movement perhaps a bit smaller. Take the left leg, arms come out, dig the toe in behind like you're doing a curtsy. Stick the bottom out, soften the knees, push off that right leg and take that leg out to the side, that's your left leg. Then step behind again, dig the toes in, curtsy squat. And push out, pull up through that core and lengthen. And again, bit of balance. Toe in, curtsy squat, bottom out, push into that front leg and out. And again, take that leg behind you, dig the toe in, curtsy squat, and push out. Balance, hands on your hips, pulse that leg out. Good, and again. Now grow tall through this right leg. Push into the floor and grow tall through the top of that, through the top of your body. And pulse and pulse. Pulse and pulse. Good. Pulse and pulse. Good. 4 and 3. This is a double pulse count. And 2 and 1. And rest, step in. Good. And a little circle through those hips. Lovely. And then come back to neutral for me. Knees soft, pelvis neutral, belly button to spine, right hand behind the head. Take a breath in. Breathing out, let's lift that right elbow, stretch down to the floor. Engage the core and come back up to centre. And again, down we go. Lift the elbow, stretch it up. And come back to centre. Now just be cautious that your body stays in this side plane. So careful not to lean forwards. Imagine your body's between two panes of glass. And centre, let's go down and hold. Lift the elbow up and hold. So here's your pivot point again at the sternum. I don't mind which way you circle first, but circling from that sternum. Good. Feel that movement happening from that point, but keep the hips still and keep weight equal between the feet. Circle. Oh, good, and circle. You might find it easier on one side than the other, that's quite normal. Circle, now change direction, so circle. I find one side feels a bit more uncoordinated as well compared to the other side. That's a bit like rubbing your tummy and patting your head. Good, and again. Circle, and circle, two more. Circle, last one. And circle, stretch the elbow up and then come back to centre. Lovely, arms out, right leg now, behind, dig the toes in. Knees go wide, bottom goes out, push into your left leg and come up. And again, take the leg behind, dig the toes in. Nice little curtsy squat and push up and out. Good, and again, take that leg behind. If your knee's a bit dodgy, don't go too low. And push through that front leg and up. And again, foot behind. Little curtsy squat. Push and open. Woo. Hands on hips. Ready? And pulse and pulse. Good. So press into the floor with that left leg. Grow tall for the top of the head. Pulse and pulse. Good. And again. Pulse and pulse. Lovely. Pull up with that core. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. And step in. Have a little circle for those hips, up through the knees for me. Lovely. Well done. Okay, let's go down one end of the mat. So we're going to do a tightrope walk. We're going to place one foot in front of the other. But the back of the heel is going to be touching the big toe. We're going to do a rotation. We're going to come back and we're going to do a glute pulse. Okay, so I'll take you through it. Right foot in front of left foot, with your left heel touching, sorry, your right heel even, touching your left big toe. Now, I don't want your weight on the back foot. So bring your weight equal and press those thighs in and up. So really zip up through those legs for me. Lift your arms up, take a breath in, shoulders down. Breathe out, open the right arm and rotate to the right. Roll tall for the top of the head with the shoulders down. Rotate back to centre, keep the weight equal between the feet. Now push your weight forwards onto your front foot. Lift your back leg and squeeze and squeeze. From your bottom, not bending your knee. Good, lengthen that leg. Squeeze your bottom. Squeeze and squeeze. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And lift that leg up and step forwards. Now place your left heel connected to your right big toe. Lift your arms up, take your weight forward so that it's equal between both feet. Squeeze those legs to the left now. Breathe in. Breathe out, rotate. Shoulders down. Grow tall for the top of the head. Stretch the arms out. Lovely. And then come all the way back. Take your weight forwards into your front left foot. Take that right leg back and squeeze and squeeze. Squeeze and squeeze. Good. 4, 3, grow tall. 2, 1, and relax. Bring that leg up. Step forwards, heel to toe. So right foot should be forwards now, left foot behind. Weight equal between the feet, not on the back foot. Arms come up, squeeze the legs together, shoulders down, breathe in. Breathe out, rotate to the right. Shoulders down and grow tall for me. Lovely. And then rotate back. Weight into that front foot. Lift that back leg up and squeeze and squeeze. Squeeze and squeeze. Really activate that glute for me. Keep tall. Squeeze and squeeze. And 4. And 3. Don't forget to breathe. And 2. And 1. And relax. Bring that leg up. Last one. Place that foot down. So left heel, right big toe, weight equal, okay? It's easy if you've got your weight in the back foot. So I don't want you back here somewhere. Weight central and squeeze those legs together. Arms up, shoulders down, breathe in. Breathe out and rotate. Shoulders down, growing tall, reaching out. Good stuff, well done. And then coming all the way back. Weight into the front foot. Take that right leg behind you. Are we ready? And squeeze and squeeze. Squeeze and squeeze. Good. Really activate that glute. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and rest. Bring that leg up. And step down. And have a little walk through those feet. Well done. I'm going to turn the heater off now, I'm getting warm. Okay, so let's come back to the end of our mat where we started. I'm just going to do a couple of little roll downs here first, facing long on our mat. So feet and knees hip width apart. And in our roll down, we're really trying to articulate down through that spine as much as we can. So soft knees and tuck the chin. Breathe in. And then roll the shoulders forwards. Tuck the chin gently to the chest. And breathe. And we're gently going to articulate down through that spine. Let the arms go long. Let the head go heavy. But use the core to control your roll down. Stretch to the back of the shoulders as we come down. Relax the head. And come all the way down to the floor as far as you can go. Relax the head. Good. Take a breath. Breathing out, let's uncurl. So rolling up, think about drawing your tailbone down towards the floor to lengthen out through the lower back. So you don't want to come up and find your bum is sticking out. You're going to draw that tailbone down and you're going to place one vertebra on top of the other as we come up. Place the shoulders and then uncurl the head and the neck. Good. Let's go down again. Tuck. Roll the shoulders forwards and let's work into that spine. Just try to articulate a little bit more. If you've got any bits that are stuck together, which you may have, arms long, all the way down. Relax the head. And then come all the way to the floor. Now knees are soft. Okay, so for those of you who've got tighter hamstrings, who struggle with this, you need to practice. But if you were to straighten the legs and you can't touch the floor, you can hold the backs of the legs, okay? Or what you can do is get something like a couple of books to place in front of you for your hands to go on, okay? So start with soft knees, take a breath. Breathing out, straighten the backs of the legs and look at the knees. Breathe in and soften. And again, breathing out and straighten the backs of the legs. Breathe in and soften. And again, breathe out and straighten the backs of the legs. And this time, take your weight into your heels a little bit more. So you feel this deep stretch happening up the back of the legs for me. Good. Good, and now soften the knees. Now, can you straighten just your right leg? So left knee is soft, right leg is straightened. And then with the left foot, lift the heel up. Now you're going to swap them over, so like a foot pedal. So left heel down, right heel up, right knee is bent. Relax the head and switch. And switch. So if one is coming down, the other is going up. Pressing the heel firmly into the floor. Good. And again. Now if you can't touch the floor, this is a little bit more of a balance exercise for you as well. Unless you've got something to place your hands on. And again. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Place both heels down. Good. Relax, nice straight legs for me. Soften the knees and let's have you walking forwards and down into hands and knees. Lovely. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and knees for me underneath your hips. Okay, so we're going to do a tail wag exercise. We're going to do it with a foot lift. So we're going to go with your right foot first. So lift your right foot off the floor, but keep your right knee down. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, push your foot over to the left, keep the knee on the floor. Turn, look over your shoulder and look at your foot. And then come back to centre. So my hip moves round to the left as I do that. I look over my shoulder. And then back to centre, but my arm bend doesn't change. So my hip moves round and my shoulders are relatively still. There's a little bit of movement in my shoulders. So obviously my neck is moving, and again, round to the left and centre, and left and centre. Now let's go to the right with that right foot. Out to the right, look over your right shoulder and come all the way to the left, look over left shoulder. So out to the right, look over right shoulder and all the way round to the left. And again, out to the right and all the way round to the left. And one more. Out to the right, keep the knee down and all the way round to the left. And then back to centre and relax. Have a stretch out into child's pose. Just working into the lower back, a little bit of thoracic spine as well. And then we'll do that on the other side in just a second. Okay, our next exercise is a little bit more challenging. I'm going to come down onto our forearms. And I'm going to walk my knees just behind my hips. Now you might want to watch me do the first one before you join in. I'm going to dig my toes into the floor. So I'm going to start with a cat stretch. So I'm going to round my spine into my shoulders and look at my knees. I'm then going to take my bottom up into the air and roll forwards onto my toes and into a full plank. Making sure I'm flat, drop the knees down and then come back to where I started, which is why your knees must be behind your hips, as you can see before you start. If your knees are underneath you here, it really won't work because you won't be able to come into plank, you'll be too far forwards. Okay, so come try with me. Knees behind hips and dig those toes in. I'll be ready. So into your cat stretch first. So round your spine and look at your knees. Now push into the floor, take your bottom up into the air, roll forwards through the feet, rolling into your plank hold. 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees and pull yourself back. Good. And again, round into cat. Look at your knees. Take your bottom up into the air. Roll forwards through your feet into plank hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down. Push back. 2 more. Yeah. Into your cat stretch. Look at your knees. Put your bum up into the air, straighten those legs, roll forwards through those toes and roll into plank. Bums low now. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down. Ooh, let's get them warm. Last one. Roll up into your cat stretch. Look at your knees. Push your bum in the air, straight legs. Roll your weight forwards, roll onto your toes, into your plank. 4, 3, 2, 1, knees down and gently walk back. Oh, have a little stretch into your child's pose. Lovely. Now I hope you guys weren't resting on that one. Okay, come back. Let's sort myself out. Okay, so back into your 4-point kneeling for me. We're going to do the other knee. So make sure your knees are underneath your hips. Left foot lift up into the air. Keep the knee down. If you want to put something soft underneath the knee, you go for it. Okay, so across your body to the right, look over your right shoulder, and then come back to centre. And again, across the body, look over the shoulder. So your right hip and your right shoulder kind of come round towards one another and back. Have you got that? And again, across the body, look over your right shoulder. Now let's come all the way out to the left and look over your left shoulder. Come all the way round to the right, look over right shoulder. Don't let the elbows change to the left. All the way round to the right, look over right shoulder. All the way out, round, look over left shoulder. One more of each. All the way round, look over right shoulder. And all the way around, look over left shoulder. Back to centre and rest. Have a little pull back. Lovely. Okay, let's uncurl and come up into our knees. So knees underneath the hips, and again, if you want to pop a folded towel or cushion underneath your knees, that's absolutely fine. Now, for those of you who struggle with flexibility of your ankles and you can't do this, if you get a little rolled towel and place it just underneath the feet here, that makes life a lot more comfortable. Okay, or even a cushion off your sofa is absolutely fine. So shoulders into back, a little bit is quads now, lift those arms up. Make sure we don't bend at the hips, we stay up. Okay, take a breath in, breathing out, drop yourself back. Don't collapse at those hips, shoulders into your back and hold. 2, 3, 4, use your core as we come back up. And again, breathe in, breathing out, dropping back, belly button to spine, don't collapse. Careful not to be here, shoulder blades into back, hold. 4, 3, 2, 1, and squeeze through those thighs as we come back. And again, breathing out and dropping back. Good, hold. 4, 3, 2, 1, and squeeze those thighs. Last one, breathe in, shoulders into back, grow tall through that head, drop back, don't collapse through the hips, draw your belly button to spine, and hold. 4, 3, 2, 1, and squeeze, and relax it down. Okay guys, well done. Let's come down onto our tummies, so all the way down to your front. Now we're going to start in frog's legs position. So we're going to start with our legs wide, one hand on top of the other here for the head. Bend the knees and bring the toes together. So you make a triangle between your knees and your feet. Now, with this exercise, we are trying to make the glutes, your buttocks, and your hamstrings do probably 85 to 90% of the work. Your lower back does work, but is there to support rather than create the movement. Okay, so do this in the right order. All right, so I would like you to place your head down once you get going. I'm going to leave my head up so you can hear me. So, belly button, pull it away from the mat. Both your buttocks squeeze nice and tight. You'll feel your pubic bone gently push into the floor. Pull up through the hamstrings and lengthen the knees away from you. Like deeper into that core, squeeze the buttocks, feel the knees lift, and then slowly lower the knees down. So I want you to imagine your knees are stretching away rather than trying to actually lift, because when we lift, we start to use the back muscles. Okay, so belly button to spine, squeeze both your buttocks, breathe in, breathe out and lengthen those knees away, pull up with those hamstrings, go deeper into your core if you need to, and lengthen it down. Good, and again. Belly button to spine. Squeeze both buttocks. Breathe in. Breathe out, lengthen those knees away. Hold, breathe, fill up deeper. And relax it down. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed. Okay, more easy said than done. And again, belly button to spine. Squeeze your buttocks in nice and tight. Good, take a breath. Breathe out. Now lengthen the knees away from you. Try and float them. Think about making your hamstrings shorter. Pull them up. Hold. And relax it down. All held down. Take the legs long and bring them in so they're parallel. Lovely. Okay. So we're going to work through our thoracic spine a little bit more now. So bring your hands out onto the floor so that your elbows are roughly in line with your shoulders. And as we work through, we're going to change from cheek to cheek. So start with your head facing me and use the same leg for the one that's nearest me for me. Okay, so when you're ready. If this can be a little bit uncomfortable in the chest, guys, if you want to put a little cushion underneath the chest, then feel free to do that, okay? So take a breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to lift that knee off the floor, and then you're going to rotate your hip away. You're going to keep your shoulders down, and you're going to push away through that hip and try to create as much rotation as you can. I'm pushing my foot towards that back wall, but I'm not extending it. I'm pushing from the hip, and then I'm going to roll all the way back. Place my hip on the floor, nice control with the core, and then relax that leg down. So I'm going to turn away from you now, so turn your cheek the other way. Same leg, bend the knee, breathe in. Now lift that knee off the floor and rotate from the hip. Rotate as far as you can. Keep the shoulders where they are. So my elbows don't come off the floor at all. Good. And then gently rotate back. Take your time. And then relax that leg down. And then turn the head. So notice my shoulders aren't coming off. My head's not coming off. And in fact, my chest isn't coming off. Let's go again. So foot up. Float the knee, brace the core, rotate through the hip. So keep your body here. Don't let this move. I'm going as far as I can through the hip. Once I feel that my head is starting to pull backwards, I'm stopping and just pressing that hip gently backwards. And then release. So really nice for the thoracic spine and the lower back. Good, and place that foot down. Last one, change over to the other side. And then bend, take the foot to the ceiling. When you're ready, lift the foot up. Float the knee, and then rotate through that hip. But keep your chest on the floor, your elbows on the floor. Push that hip round as far as it will go for me. Lovely. And then gently rotate back. Good. Nice and control as we come back and rest that down. Bring the head into center and bring your arms in. And I want you to come up into Sphinx position. So this is where you've got the elbow underneath the shoulder. And then we're up nice and tall for the spine. And I drop my head slightly so that my head is in line with my spine. Okay, rather than making these vertebrae here closer together, I'm lengthening. Now we don't want to be down here through the shoulders, so lift up through those shoulders for me, lovely. So you're going to do a pelvic tuck, and you're going to pull your tailbone down towards the floor, and you're just going to peel your pubic bone just off the mat. I like to bring my hands together in front of me, cross one over the other, but you can be here if you prefer. Okay, so lift yourself, breathe in. Belly button to spine. Now tuck your pelvis that way. So bring your tailbone down towards the mat. It lengthens the lower back. Peel your pubic bone at the front just off the floor. And then release. Now you shift a little bit of extra weight into the knees, but don't push with the legs, okay? And again, so pull your tailbone down towards the floor. Feel that lengthening in the lower back. A bit of weight goes into the shoulders. Pubic bone just off the floor. Don't collapse. And then release. Good. And again, draw your tailbone down towards the floor. Lengthen out through the lower back. Pubic bone just peeling off. And then release. And last one. Belly button to spine. So think about drawing your pelvis around towards the mat. Then squeeze the bottom. Float your pubic bone just off the floor for me. And release. Well done. Come all the way down. One last one here. So hands are here, stacked one on top of the other. Feet around about to hip width apart for me. We're going to use the oblique muscles. But let's just start by waking up your lower back muscles. So we're going to secure our head to our hands, shoulders away from our ears. Take a breath. Engage the core. As we breathe out, I would want you to float your head and your arms. Keep your shoulders down. And then slowly float back down to the floor. Then do that again, breathing in. Breathing out and float. Hold. And then slowly come back to the floor. Let's just do one more of those, just to prepare. Breathing in. Belly button to spine. Breathing out and float. Lifting the upper body. Breathing in. And slowly coming down. So what we're going to do is we're going to float the head. And we're going to take one arm to the side. And we're going to slide that arm down the side of the body. The head's going to follow it round. We'll come back to centre. And then we'll bring our body back to the mat. Okay, so with me, take a breath in. Breathing out and float. I'm going to go left hand first so you can see. Down by the side of my body. My right hand stays under my head. Breathing in. Breathing out, I'm going to slide my hand down. My upper body follows. Keep both hips glued to the floor. Come all the way back to centre. Circle that arm around and back under. And then all the way down to the floor. Let's try that on the other side. Breathing in. Breathing out and float head and arms. Good. Right hand down by the side of the body. Left hand under the head. Breathe in. Breathing out and slide the arm down the body. Head follows it round, but don't let the hips peel off. Breathe in. And back to centre. Arms circle all the way around under the head. And then all the way back down to the floor. We do two more. Yes, let's do two more. Okay, take a breath in. Breathing out, shoulders away from the ears, engage the core and float. Left hand down by the side of the body, breathe in. Breathing out and sliding down. Body moves around with you. Don't let the hips peel off. Breathing in, come back to centre. Breathing out all the way around. And floating down. Last one for me if you can. Take a breath in. Engage that core for me and float. Just off the floor. Right hand to the side of the body. Breathe in. Breathing out and sliding down. Watch those hips don't peel off. Hold. Breathe in. Breathing out, come back to centre first. Arm circles all the way around. And then all the way down. Well done, guys. Bring your hands under the front of your shoulders for me. Gently press up. And let's have a stretch back into child's pose. That will feel good after that one. Stretch out through that spine for me. Stretch out through those glutes. Fantastic. Well done. And then gently uncurl. Fab. Okay, so we're now going to go on to our side lay position. So on your right side facing me would be great. Legs long, top arm long. Rest your head on your arm here. Hips are nicely stacked. And make sure your feet are in line with your spine. It's so easy in this position to actually have your feet further behind, which is a lot more stable, I have to say, but it is a bit of a cheat, okay? So everything in a nice straight line for me, relax this head down. So We're going to stretch on the diagonal. Arm is going to stretch here, leg is going to stretch behind you, and then we're going to come back to an elbow to knee position. Okay, so when you're ready, take a breath in. As you breathe out, push the hand out on the diagonal, leg goes behind you, rotate the ribs so that the rib cage on that bottom side is just rotated to the floor. Reach away. Now circle the arm up, circle the leg up, and bring the elbow and knee together without falling backwards. Breathe in. And again, breathe out and stretch away on that diagonal. Circle the arm, lift that leg up, and elbow and knee together. And again, stretch away on that diagonal, really reach. Imagine you've got hold of your ankle and I'm pulling it away. Circle, and come back up, elbows to knee. And again, reach away. Good. Keep that bottom leg active and circle. That helps you balance. And one more. Stretch away for me. Reach, reach, reach. And big circle, knee up. Good. And then rest it all the way down. Good stuff, well done. Okay, bring those knees up to right angles. So you want your shins to be parallel to at the edge of the mat. A right angle at the knee and a right angle at the hip, okay? Bottom arm, bring it underneath your head. Lattice your fingers together, lace your fingers together. So you've got your elbows parallel and your knees parallel. Now, we're going to open your top elbow and we're going to open your top knee, but you're not going to fall backwards. You're going to hold your balance. So, lift the elbow, lift the knee. Get to a point where you feel balanced. You're not going to roll onto your bottom, and extend your leg away. Good. Now lift that top leg up, crunch with your ribs to point your elbow towards the knee, and then release and lower the leg down. And again, lift that leg up. Now crunch from here, not by pulling on the back of the head, and release and lower down. Keep the bottom leg on the floor, don't let it lift. All the way up, ribs down. Breathe in as we go down. Breathing out, lift and close the ribs. Breathe in as we go down. And again, breathe out. Good, breathe in as we go down. Two more, breathe out. Breathe in. Last one, breathe out. And breathe in. Bend that knee up. And close your book down. And rest. Well done, guys, really good. Okay, lengthen that bottom leg. Lengthen that bottom arm. Grab hold of that foot. Pull towards your bottom and just flex the hips slightly forwards. Just to get a little bit of stretch in the front of that quad for me. Well done. Fantastic. So we'll do those side lay ones on the other side in a little while. We're going to just do a little bit of work on our back, okay? Just want to slide my notes up so I have those there in front of me. And I want you to lay over onto your back for me. So if you prefer to have or need to have a cushion or a folded towel underneath your head, you go for it. So if you've got a slightly forward head posture, what you don't want is this chin to be up in the air like this. Okay, so if you need to have a cushion to bring your chin down a little bit, that's absolutely fine. Feet and knees hip width apart. We're going to do a 100. What's key here is the pulsing of the arms is strong, so no floppy wrists. Pulsing of the arms is nice and strong. You can do a 100 here with your feet on the floor and your head on the floor, okay? We're going to come into tabletop. I'm going to do an extension and a leg drop where you work to what's best for you. I'm also going to be in curl up, but if you want to rest your head at any point, that is fine. So, are we ready? Hands down. One leg into tabletop. brace the core, lift the other leg. So knees should be over hips and shins should be parallel. You should be able to get your triad rings on your shins without them sliding off, okay? If you want to come into curl up, remember we curl from the ribs, not the neck. Breathe in. Breathing out, curl up from those ribs, extend the arms for me, get yourself comfortable. Gap between your chin and your chest. Are you ready? Breathe in. And breathe out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, good, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, smile, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, extend the legs if you wish, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, good, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, drop the legs if you can, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, good, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, and rest. Hug in, relax down. Oh, lovely. Roll your chin from shoulder to shoulder. Can't beat the old favourites. Get the old blood flowing. Good, just chin from shoulder to shoulder, just to release that neck for me. Lovely, and then bring your feet down to the floor one at a time. So hip width apart with those feet. We're going to do a basic starfish, but we're going to circle the leg back now. As we circle the leg, we want to make sure that the pelvis stays neutral. This is hippie, but I do not want your hips rocking and rolling, and I want your stable knee to be stable. Okay, so right leg, left arm, take a breath in. Breathing out, hold that core and lengthen the right leg, lengthen the left arm. Don't let the arch of the back change. Circle the right leg to the side, left arm circle, swing all the way up, but keep the pelvis facing the ceiling. Now bring the arm up, bend the knee, and ready to go again. Lengthen that leg away, arm over. Circle the right leg just above the floor, around to the side. Keep your pelvis facing the ceiling. Don't let it rock and roll. Now circle around towards you and up. Lift the arm up, bend the knee, and down we go again. Lengthen that leg away. Good, and circle. So really try to circle the leg towards you. And I know if your hamstrings are short, that's quite difficult. Keep your bottom on the floor, the back of your pelvis on the floor. Lift the arm up and bend. One more. Take that leg away. Good. Careful that doesn't change the shape of the spine. And then circle the arm, circle the leg around. Keep the stable knee still all the way around. Lift up. And then hug that knee in. Put it in nice and close to the chest. Lengthen the left leg away. And hold that nice position in that stretch. Well done. Lovely. Good stuff. Let's just quickly check my notes. Make sure we're good. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Slide the left leg up, place the right leg down. We'll do that on the other side in just a moment. Okay, take your arms out to the side of your body with your palms facing the ceiling. We're going to work in frog's legs, but laying on our back. This is a great hip position. One leg into tabletop and the other. Big toes glued together, knees wide. Drop the feet slightly so the shins are parallel to the ceiling, and make sure your knees stay over your hips. So you don't want to be here, okay? Knees over hips so your core is switched on. So let's start by just working side to side, but keeping your shoulders on the floor. So to the right, rocking over, but keep the left shoulder blade down, and then pull back to center. Staying over the hips. Now to the left. Keep the knees wide. I want you to keep the right shoulder blade on the floor. And then pull up to center. Good. Two more. Over to the right. Now feel those shoulder blades against the floor. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And use your core as you come to center, and you're using your hip flexors and your inside thigh muscles. So over to the left. Keep the right shoulder blade on the floor and squeeze up. So we're going to add a variation to this. We're going to extend the legs out in our side lower, and we're going to tap the heels together for 3. I'm going to come towards you first so you can see. I'm going to go left first. Doesn't matter though, either or. So I'm going to go over to the left, keep the right shoulder blade down. I'm going to extend the legs out, heels clap together, 1, 2, 3, wide. Toes together. Now pull all the way up to center. Good. Okay, adjust the knees if you need to. I did. So over to the other side. So I'm going to go to the right, but it's entirely up to you, whichever is your next. Keep the opposite shoulder blade on the floor. Extend the legs wide. Heels together. Tap. 2, 3, wide. Hold that core. Bring the toes back together. Knees wide and lift to center. 2 more for me, guys. So over to the other side, keep the opposite shoulder blade nicely glued to the floor. Extend those legs out wide, heels together. Squeeze, 2, 3, wide, and toes touching. And lift through that core. Good, last one. Over we go. Opposite shoulder blades stuck to the floor. Relaxed. Nice and wide, heels together. Squeeze, 2, 3, wide. Toes touching. And lift to center. Bring those hands forwards, bring the knees towards you. Grab hold of the ankles for me. Drop them down slightly. Push the elbows out. Just stretching into those inside thighs. Good. Lovely. And then release, bring those knees in, give them a nice hug. And then relax those feet down one at a time. Okay, so feet back into hip width apart. We're going to do our starfish with our hip circle on the other side. Okay, so right arm, left leg. So when you're ready, brace that core for me. And right arm, left leg, take it away. Are you ready to circle that leg to the side, circle the arm round, keep your pelvis facing the ceiling, circle all the way up towards you, lift that arm, bend the knee, start to go down from the hip as the arm goes over, lengthen that leg away, hold your core, circle that leg. Now watch these hips, keep the other knee pointing to the ceiling as you circle around. And up, lift the arm, bend the knee, good, down we go. And again, lengthen the leg, and then circle, hips facing the ceiling, all the way around towards you, and up, bend the knee. And as we're going down, for those of you who know, it's like a toe tap, so I'm moving from my hip, can you see that? Take that leg away, take the arm away. And circle all the way round and up to center. Lift that arm up and hug that knee in. Nice and close to the chest. Take the opposite leg long on your mat. Lovely, well done. Very nice. Okay, slide that leg back up again and place that on the floor. Give your legs a bit of a shimmy. So our last exercise on our back is like a single leg pull, but we're going to do it with a reverse resistance. So basically a reverse resistance is my leg at tabletop, both hands on this leg, the knees pushing in towards me, and I'm resisting it with my hands and my shoulders, and then I let go. So that's my reverse resistance, okay? And we're going to do that on our bent leg in our single leg pull. We're going to keep our head and shoulders on the floor. So arms by your side just to prepare. One leg into tabletop, the other leg into tabletop. Both hands against your right knee, left leg lengthen away and push into those hands and switch. Push and lengthen at the same time and switch. So as I push my right leg in, my left leg goes long and switch. Don't arch the back. Push and switch. Breathe out. Good. And push, switch. Push, switch. Push, switch. Push, switch. Two more. Push, switch. Last one. Push, switch, and knees in. Hug. Well done. Lovely. So either turn onto your side, or if you know you can do a roll up, take your legs long, one at a time, arms over. Only if you know you can do this. If not, turn onto your side and walk yourself up slowly. Arms come over. Roll your chin to your chest. Really close the ribs. Articulate up through that spine and gently rolling up. Well done, guys, fantastic. Okay, coming around, let's come onto your left side, facing me. So legs long, arm long. And again, make sure those hips are stacked. Look down, make sure your feet are in line with your spine and not behind you, okay? And we're going to do our diagonal stretch first. Coming into our elbow to knee. So top leg moves away, right arm, top arm on the diagonal, roll through the rib cage and stretch, stretch, stretch. Circle the arm and leg, balance back up onto the side, elbow to knee without rolling backwards. And again, top arm, top leg, stretch away, roll onto the ribs slightly. And circle and lift and hold. Bottom leg is long and active. And again, stretch away. And circle and lift. Get that balance. And again, stretch away. Circle and lift. Balance. And last one, stretch away. Go on, really stretch it out, stretch it out, stretch it out. And circle and balance. And relax it down. Good, well done. Bring your knees up. So shins parallel with the edge of your mat. Right angle at the knee, right angle at the hip. Bring that hand underneath the head. Other hand to mirror. Okay, when you're ready, belly button to spine, you're going to lift the knee, lift the elbow, and roll back so you're still on your side. If I go too far, my hips drop. My hips need to be up. So I'm open this knee, open the hips, push the hips forwards, okay? And then I extend that leg away. Keep your bottom leg down. And we swing up and we crunch down through those ribs and we release. Don't pull on the head. And again, leg comes up, ribs down, and back. And again, leg up, ribs down, and back. And again, and back. So nice straight leg, knee facing the ceiling as it goes down, but staying on one buttock. And really get this top rib to close. Pointing the elbow to the knee, careful not to pull on the neck. Good. Two more, lift and crunch. Last one, lift and crunch. And then come all the way back in, close your book and rest. Well done. So gently walk yourself up from that side lay. Good, come and sit facing me with your legs nice and wide for me. Oh, a little roll through those shoulders. So you want to be on your sit bones with your knees facing the ceiling, okay? We don't want to be rolling inwards with these legs and here through the back. So try and push the hips forwards, grow tall, knees out towards the ceiling, arms up. Rotate to the right, left hand towards your right little toe, coming down, saw 1, 2, 3, and lift up. But keep both sit bones on the floor. Rotate to the left. Right hand comes down. 1, 2, 3, and lift up. And again, rotate first. Left hand comes down. 1, 2, 3, and lift up. And then rotate to the left. Right hand comes down. 1, 2, 3, and lift up. Relax those arms down. Bring those feet in together. So knees are nice and wide. I want you to hold on to the front of the feet. Think about a cat stretch. So pulling your spine away from you. Hold on to your feet, round the spine, and kind of pull against your feet as you roll the spine here. So you've got that stretch in the top of your back. And then release. Now flatten your spine, lift your chest and draw your shoulders down. So I want your spine to go long. You stay there. I'm going to do it sideways on so you can see me here as well. So you can see the shape of my back. I round my spine and pull against my toes. And then I flatten my back, move forwards and stretch out with that lovely straight spine. One more. Round the spine away, tuck the chin. And then release. Shoulders down, lengthen out, grow tall on the diagonal, and then relax. Well done. So sit however you're most comfortable for me. So either legs crossed or legs in front of you, however you're most comfortable, have a roll. Okay, let's take that right hand down to the floor, soften the elbow, and let's stretch it up and over. Keep both sit bones on the floor. Reach with that top arm so you get that lovely stretch in your obliques. And then release. Other side, hand down. Soften the elbow. There's no point in doing a stretch like this because all you're doing is putting pressure on your shoulders. So soften the elbow and get that length in the side of your body. Good. And then come all the way up for me. Make a circle. Lift the elbow, look through the circle, and then come back. Lift the elbow up, look through the circle, and then come back. Take the hands all the way around behind you. Hold your fingertips to here, just below your lower back. Push away, grow tall. Pull the shoulders back. Now lift the chin up if you can. As long as you haven't got any significant neck issue, that's fine. If you can, push your bottom jaw forwards. Release, relax. Relax the shoulders, bring the arms around you. Keep the shoulders into your back, grow tall, feel your head float up towards the ceiling. Rotate your chin to your right shoulder. And then back. And chin to your left shoulder, and then back, and then chin to your chest without changing your spine, and back. Well done, guys. Give yourself a little clap.